State Show found right here on 103.5 FM, The Sun, every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Hey, when I'm not on the radio, I'm working with folks just like you to help them buy and sell homes. I'm proud to say that my team, the Baker Realty Group, has been helping people buy and sell homes in the greater Sun Prairie area for over 10 years. Information about buying and selling a home is available on my website, thebakerrealtygroup.com, on Facebook by searching The Baker Realty Group, or by calling 608-575-6751. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the Sun Prairie Real Estate Show with Bill Baker and Luara Stanfield. Brought to you by the Baker Realty Group.
Welcome to the Sun Prairie Real Estate Show with your host, Bill Baker.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Sun Prairie Real Estate Show. I'm your host, Bill Baker, and glad to be with you this morning. It is September. The temperatures are changing, and bring out the heavy sweaters and parkas. I mean, at 49 degrees, it's going to be on Thursday night. 49 degrees. What hell is that all about, I tell you? Hey, we created this show just for you, and it's all about buying, selling, and investing in real estate, giving you the information you need to make those decisions. And this is starting our 8th year of doing a live show and trying to do our best to give you the information that you're looking for. And it is not a sales show. We don't sell anything here. We just give you the information and then give you a resource, if you like, where you can reach out to us and we will be able to answer any questions that you may have regarding any of the subjects that we have. I also want to say thank you for all of the support that you've given us over the years, because of that support, because of your ideas, your thoughts in that, we have applied those topics to the show, and it's been fantastic, and a huge thank you. But I got to tell you, the first show that we ever did a gazillion years ago, there was this beautiful lady that came in, sat down as my first guest, and happened to be the lender of choice for me. And what happened after that first show, she stuck around for now starting on 8 years, and that is the most incredible mortgage lender, they all knowing, the beautiful Luara Stanfield from Trust Mortgage.
Wow.
I know, right?
You just almost make me blush.
I like to do.
You say the same thing a lot. But
I know, but it's so true. Hey, you're listening to 103.5 WLSP, The Sun, right here in beautiful Sun Prairie, a part of the Sun Prairie Media Center family of stations, and glad to be a part of that. We're underwritten by the wonderful folks at the Bank of Sun Prairie, the Baker Realty Group, and of course, Trust Mortgage. If you're looking for us on Facebook, there's a Gavitsit and a doohickey that ain't working again, and I gotta tell you, I hate finding out about it at the last minute as we go to log on. And well, at least that we don't have a guest that's here where we could, because we always promise them a copy of the recording and everything. But you can go to YouTube and you can see us on YouTube for some reason.
What's not working? Which Gavitsit?
The Gavitsits.
Which one?
Facebook. There's no Facebook Live today. No.
Hasn't that happened a couple times?
Oh, it happens in the worst times is what I say. But
yeah.
But it happens. But anyway, we move on. What we want to do today is we're going to break this up into 3 parts. One is people want to hear more about assessments, and you're still fired up about that. I get it, but it is what it is. And then we're going to talk about the subject that we brought up last week, and I had quite a few of you go, "What? You're kidding? I can do that?" And that's assumable mortgages. And then lastly, we really broke down some information about predictions about the marketplace. What's going to happen out there? I mean, somebody actually asked me, is the market going to crash? And I can tell you right away, and we'll get into more of it, the answer is no, it's not going to crash. So chill pill,
I think people should watch or rewatch The Big Short. It's on Netflix right now.
The Big Short?
Did you ever see it?
I have.
About the housing crash.
Yeah, that is a
right?
good a good show.
It's such a good movie. It makes me mad at the same time because the stuff that went on. But it's such a good movie, and we know some of it is for Hollywood, for dramatic purposes, but a lot of that stuff actually did happen. It was really accurate.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
It really did happen.
When you're thinking we're going to have another housing crash, you might want to watch that movie. It's not the same situation, and I don't think we'll ever see that situation again.
No.
There's too much regulation now.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you 100%. I don't think I can't see it happening anyway.
Well, nobody saw that happening either. However, greed drove it, and loose guidelines around mortgages, how they're bought and sold, how they're done, all that changed out of the housing crash. So.
Well, yeah, let's talk about it just real quick, just so people understand that. The real issue back in the day was that if you could breathe, you could get a mortgage.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm being facetious, but that's really what it was all about.
Yeah. Can you fog a mirror? Good enough.
Can you fog a mirror?
Yeah. That was back when there was stated income and stated assets. So, meaning you just tell me what your income is, good enough. I don't need anything to verify it. Just what's on your application must be real. So we'll base a pre-approval on that. We'll base a whole loan decision on that. And a lot of the people who do what I do back then were saying, well, here, take this, interest-only mortgage. Don't worry about it. You don't have to pay down your principal because your house will just keep appreciating in value. That's how you'll build equity. You don't have to pay anything toward it.
Right.
Just pay interest.
Right.
Or the program that doesn't exist anymore, the option arm, where the options were to pay interest only, pay principal and interest, pay more, or the one that killed everybody is not even paying a minimum payment, not even enough to satisfy the interest due on the loan. So when things got tough for people, they started paying the minimum payment without realizing that they weren't even satisfying the interest, so their balance was growing, not decreasing.
Well,
and their house value was decreasing at the time.
Exactly.
So it prevented people from even refinancing.
Yeah.
If they were caught in these ARMs, adjustable rate mortgages, and the rates it didn't matter. They couldn't refinance because the value of the home wasn't there.
Oh my gosh, it was terrible. I mean, it was a moment in history that you want to forget about.
Well, I don't think so. I think any moment in history is one to learn from. So no, I don't think we want to forget about it. I think we want to continue to learn and keep the standards in there. I mean, granted, sometimes in my world, I think things go a little bit too far, but don't shoot the lender, the messenger.
Right.
We don't make the rules. We get to share them with you.
Right.
But we don't have that much power. So. It's all to protect consumers and prevent something like that from ever happening again.
Yeah, I agree.
So.
Okay, I think I have us on YouTube now. I'm not sure. I'm hoping I do.
On YouTube? Really?
Yeah, I'm trying to get the connection here.
Look
All
at
that
you.
stuff.
Look at you.
I know.
Impressive.
Thank you. Yes, we are on.
On what?
We're on YouTube Live.
I didn't know you could do YouTube.
Can you hear it?
No. Where would I hear it?
It's in your headset.
Nope.
It's talking right now.
I think you're hearing things.
Oh. I'm watching it.
Okay.
To be very honest.
Okie dokie.
All right, now we're
So
on.
anyway,
Okay.
I think we still hear it, and
Yeah.
it just makes me smile every time because most of us were, well, I don't know, a lot of us were around, let's say, back then. Some of us knew what was going on, some of us not. Some people were hit really hard, lost homes, lost jobs, lost a lot during the housing crash.
Right.
But, we have to look at the supply and demand situation, the inventory shortage that we have going on right now. And that's a pretty big driving factor. We're not going to see house prices decrease drastically when we have such an inventory shortage.
Exactly. And we're going to talk more about that in a little while.
Yeah.
We'll get into that because it's really interesting out there. But let's talk about assessment. And again, we want to go over and really stress the point that just because your assessment went up $100,000, it doesn't mean that your taxes are going to escalate at that level or that percentage or anything like that.
At that level is the key.
Correct.
They probably will
Well,
increase.
they're going to go up. I think assessments should go up. I mean, Because
Property taxes or assessments?
well, property taxes and assessments should fluctuate I think every year, but they only do it every 2 years.
Fluctuate down?
They could go. We did that. Mine went down, or my payment went down.
Okay.
I think it's wild. It all depends on there's two parts: the city government, the county, the community college, Madison College,
METC.
and then also the high school.
It's not METC anymore. I can't get
No,
that
I
in my
know
head.
Madison College, right?
Yes, yes.
What an identity problem. Okay, and
But there are things, yes, we have to wait for numbers to come in from the school district and there's things that we contribute to, right? Through
Right.
our tax dollars.
Exactly.
So we have to wait and find out what those numbers are gonna shake out to be and what the mill rate is gonna end up being come
Exactly.
November-ish.
But it's probably going to increase. Now you're not going to see the increase that you're thinking. That's the whole thing. Here's the reason. A couple of reasons. One is our population growth went up significantly, almost as much as your values went up, and that's going to spread out that obligation, the city obligation.
Larger tax base.
Exactly.
So we should have less to contribute in theory.
Yeah, I like how you say it better. You just keep talking. You're good. I'm just going to sit here for a minute.
Do you have other things to do on
No,
social?
I'm good. I'm just dealing with it.
Okay. Anyway, yes, but I think when you get a tax reassessment value that's 100,000 higher, and that's not an exaggeration, by the way. I mean, I live in a fairly modest house, ranch. I love it because I love my neighborhood, love my home, love it all. You've all heard me say that.
There's a
many
lot of
times.
love.
There's a lot of love going on, yeah.
Love.
But even
Your
mine
homes should go.
went up over 90,000.
Yeah.
So, and then I've heard people talking about Bristol and like up over 120, 140,000. So automatic reaction is, oh my gosh, what are my taxes gonna be?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I get it, but we do have to sit back. We have to wait and see how the rest of the numbers shake out. You might be surprised pleasantly, you might not be, but either way, our values, I think, were under assessed.
Yeah, well, underassessed, I don't know if they were underassessed.
Our values were below market.
Below market, there you
Yeah.
go. Now, they say assessment is market value, well, but that's all based back in January.
Right.
It's not today.
Yeah.
And so there's the rub, as they call it. And so I can tell you from my standpoint, my house, and I did about 30 different, I just pulled properties and looked at them. And I found that the assessment was lower than the market value.
Yeah.
So be comfortable knowing that your house is worth more than what the assessment is saying. Again, assessment is not setting value. Assessment is always off in the way of value.
Don't we want it all, though? We want to be able
We want
to sell our
everything.
homes
I want
for
it all.
top dollar.
Top dollar.
But we want it to be assessed low
Yeah, no
and have
taxes.
low taxes.
I don't want to pay taxes.
I mean, I get it. I want all those things too, but that's not reality. We have to support the amazing community that we live in, and that's not just BS.
Yeah.
Our
that's
tax dollars are meant to go toward programs that support our community. Do I know where all the tax dollars go? No, I don't, admittedly.
Right.
I'm assuming that's public knowledge. I could, if I wanted to dig into it, what
It is.
percentage goes here and there and
Yeah.
everywhere.
And you should be involved. You
Yeah.
should pay attention. You should go down and, or even follow us on KSUN for city council. What's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on in the different committees? That's how you stay involved. It's not by, ranting and raving on Facebook
Or next door.
or next door too. Oh my gosh.
And when it comes
The
time to
pictures.
vote, then you'll have more to base it on, because you can watch, right? Our
Right.
people that you're voting for,
Sure.
how they vote, what they say,
Exactly.
get to know them better. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I think that's just being part of the community.
Yes.
You need to know. Even the school board. People like to complain about the school board and the school board members and that. Well, go watch the meeting. Go attend the meeting. Be involved. Be a part of the solution, not part of the problem. And things will be a lot better. You will help our community by being a part of it,
Yes.
one way or the other.
Well, if your focus is to be a positive contribution and
Sure.
not just a Karen. so
Well,
to
exactly.
say.
I mean, you and I we both volunteer a lot. And
Yes.
But I sit on the housing
I
committee,
know it.
and I'm so
Yes.
proud that Mayor Esser asked me to do that. And did I have to do that? No. Now, do you know that that's a paid position?
Sitting on the housing committee?
Yeah.
I did not know
When
that.
you're a committee member, you can be paid for your time that you're at meetings and stuff like that. But most people, the majority of people, refuse to take the money, and we just do it as a volunteer.
So if you're the only one that takes money, you're kind of a jerk. Like, does everybody know if you go ahead and take it?
I don't know if I call them a jerk. They might need the money. They might need those dollars, but
there you go. Stay in curiosity.
Yeah, seek to understand.
Yes.
And so, but that's part of it. I mean, as a volunteer, as a part of that committee, I get to have a say.
I didn't know that.
I actually get to be involved with what the planning is for the city in the way of housing and what's going on there.
So why do you get involved in that, Bill?
Because I care. I would think I'm the biggest cheerleader for Sun Prairie. I think I have my pom poms in the car.
Oh, I want to see you use the pom poms.
Oh, you
This
should
is
see
a
my
new one.
skirt. I mean, I look good in that cheerleader outfit too. It looks pretty cool.
Skirt or kilt? That would be Troy.
Kilt.
Troy wears a
That's true.
kilt. Yes.
But I care about my city. I care about what's going on. I care about people and how they relate to the city of Sun Prairie and what's going on.
Yep. And you want to be part of the solution.
Exactly.
Not a complainer.
Right, and part of that solution is by providing a voice or an ear to what's going on.
Both. Listen first.
Sure.
Really
Always.
listen. Don't just hear.
It's the smart one in the room that's sitting there listening. It's not the one that's talking.
Absolutely. God gave us 2 ears for a reason, yes?
Well, yes.
Even men.
Men, we don't use them very often. Selectively, we use them.
Well, then you're wasting a gift you
I
were
know.
given.
I know.
So, anyway, yes, easy for us to say, but we both live in Sun Prairie. We both
Yeah.
own homes and pay taxes, and just like all of you.
Right.
So, please try to stay curious about what's going to happen with your taxes. Maybe be happy with your tax assessment because you know you're sitting on a lot of equity.
A lot of equity.
A lot.
A lot of equity.
Did we say a lot?
A lot of equity.
Yeah.
I know.
30% appreciation, I think.
Oh gosh.
In general, that's what I thought I read.
Oh gosh.
So,
Wow.
and that's though what, over 2 years to 3 years? I can't
2
remember.
years.
Okay,
No,
so
well,
let's be realistic about
If
that.
let's talk about the numbers. Let's get into them a little
Yeah.
bit because I want to review August, and talk about this and show you what I see and why it's important to you if you're buying or selling a house, and especially if you're lending. I mean, the lenders are the ones that are going.
Hmm.
You see it again?
Wah, wah.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Because lenders are going. It's worth how much? Oh my gosh, is that going to appraise?
I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about payment shock for people,
Well,
especially who left the market a year or two ago because
Oh,
it
sure.
was too much, and now they're coming back in going, it's how much?
oh sure,
Right, that's
Oh,
why
sure.
we said don't leave the market.
right.
But
Right.
what can we do?
Yeah, I agree.
I also understand the stress that buyers are in.
Yeah, and they are.
Mhm.
They are in that stress. I mean, we're going to talk in a minute. You're going to see that the amount of competing offers for last month was high, but you're going to be surprised where it is.
Really?
Uh huh.
Okay.
And the percentages on it. But
Stay tuned.
stay tuned. There's more.
Oh wait.
We'll be back.
There's more.
I'm telling you, it is. Hey, sales were down. Listings were up. The number of houses that came on the market in August was up from 38 compared to 38 last August. At 51 houses came up listed. Love that. 40 were sold, which was down 18%. Your pricing was up 2.6%. The average sold price in August was $434,485. Like I said, 2.6%. And of the asking price, pricing was above that by 2%. So it'd be 102%. Average days on market were 12. And as of this morning, there were 60 homes that were listed for sale. There are actually only 47 that are available. 24 are new homes, and then also 6 were sold. New construction were sold last month with a price of $464,900, which is up 19.5% over 2020. Now, that's just a monthly number. So yes, the trend is going up on this because we were in July we had 32 homes for sale. This one up in August went up to 40. What we'll see a lot of times is September will carry over with a strong number because it's August related, but then you'll see drops like 30s and 20s and all that, because we're going to be going into the fall market. And traditionally, the trend is that the market softens. And so we'll see. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. Here's really a more important number. Hot flash?
It's hot in here.
I know,
it's
it
muggy.
is. It really is.
Oof.
If we look at year-to-date numbers, which is important, your sales are, your price numbers are up 7.6%. And listings are down about 25, solds are down 28%. What we're going to talk about a little bit later is that we're ahead of the game. If you look nationally, we're ahead of the game, and we're doing pretty well. The key point in this is price is still up. 2%, I'm okay with 2%. It's going to be more than that by the end year. It's going to be more. Total's going to be like 6.5.
We don't want it to be too crazy either, you know.
No, we don't. And I apologize for coughing. I'm still dealing with this chest thing.
Stop.
I know.
It's not COVID.
And I have to keep going back in the house.
Oh, can you wear a mask?
I do.
Good.
I do. So the market here, what this is telling you, Sun Prairie, is that we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. We have inventory. We're not selling it all out at one time. People still have demand, and of the demand that we have, they're in there looking at different things. Wait till you see this. Wait till I talk about it. But yeah, if we look at this in the market, if compared to July, our pricing dropped 1.7%. But listings in August, houses that come on the market, were up 30%, and sales in August were up 25% over July, which is a huge surprise. Huge surprise. So things are favorable right now. I don't want you to get negative on it. What I want you to think about is how you can take this information. If you're looking to sell, you know your numbers are still strong. You know that you're going to get top dollar for your property if you price it correctly. If you price it correctly. Let me say it one more time. If you price it correctly. Work with a professional and work through those numbers. Let the professional show you what the market says your house is worth, and then go from there.
Did you see what Jenny Swain posted?
No,
on
I did not.
It was something about houses sitting on the market too long are kind of like dating. The longer you've been on the market, the more people wonder what's wrong with you. Right?
That's so true. Oh my gosh.
That was
Oh my
funny
gosh.
and inappropriate. But so that's where pricing comes into play.
Yeah.
If it's not priced correctly,
Sure.
it could be sitting, and then people are gonna think there's something wrong with your house.
Right.
Even though there's not.
Right.
So, get the data from your realtor, know that you're working with professionals
Sure.
that are running the numbers.
I'm just hoping that your number is high enough.
Price it with the data available. Don't you say that all the time?
I do.
Don't try to play games
Don't
with
play
the
games.
numbers.
No. It's okay to have one offer, a strong offer. It doesn't really matter if you have 20 offers or one offer. But I'm going to tell you, I've seen more situations where, and we talk about this every week, and I'm trying to get it through everybody's head. I've seen it where there's been multiple offers, and at the end of that multiple offer, the house is sold below market value.
Yeah.
Or where you know it would have been if they priced it correctly. And I'm serious about this.
Yeah.
I really am. And I'm hoping that people that are listening are really taking that to focus. Now, if you're a buyer, there's two things you're talking about. OMG, I can't believe the prices. OMG, that interest rate's at 7.5%, fluctuating 7.5%. And you're going, I can't go do this. And what Laura and I have been telling you is it's still a good time to buy a house. And here's the reason why. Marry the house, date the rate. The house, as you can see, the prices are still continuing to climb. They're going to climb. There's not going to be this, all of a sudden, this quick drop in pricing. There might be an adjustment, but there won't be a deep, steep decline or a crash, as people have been using. Because the demand is still there. People are still moving. They're changing jobs. They're looking for something different, bigger, smaller, whatever, condo. They're still looking for properties. And Sun Prairie, we're showing that when you have an increase, when you have 40 houses that are sold with a 2% increase, almost 3% increase, that shows you that there is a demand. So be confident that you can go out there and find the house you want. Now, find the house, but make sure you've done your homework, that you have that advisor that's going to tell you, share with you, I guess is a better word, the details that you need to make that decision. They're not going to make that decision for you. You're going to make the decision. It's up to you. And I've had people where I've said to them, I would not buy this house at this price. Or I would not buy this house with this in this condition. And the reason for that is I'm a buyer agent. I'm under contract. I'm allowed to give you that type of input during the transaction because we've signed a contract.
You have told people before not to offer.
I have.
Yeah.
I have. So let's look at one of these. And Laura, if you're looking at this sheet right here, this one's interesting. So if we were to go on to the marketplace right now, or this past month, there was a house at 111 Hoover Street. It was built in 1977, and it was listed at $274,900. Sold for $304, $29,000. Let's just say $30,000 difference. Had a 10% change in price. The square footage cost on this is $295.
Holy cow.
Now, that better be the Mac Daddy of houses.
No competing offers?
No competing offers.
Isn't that weird in that range?
Thank you. You're going right where I wanted you to go on
Okay,
that.
well, you're welcome. And it wasn't a setup, really.
No, it wasn't, because it's what's going on there, folks. At that $295, you could have built a house.
Yes.
You could have built a house. Now, this is only
Not that
1,000
small,
square
maybe.
feet.
Do they build houses that small? Yet?
Yeah, well, sure they
Yet?
do. Yeah, we got.
Really? Ooh, what builder?
It's a big container box.
Okay. I mean, it's a cute house, but
It is, right?
it's small.
Right.
Detached garage.
Again, there was
1,000
something.
square feet.
There was something there that people wanted.
Well, it could have been an assumption made, you know, this is a first time home buyer, price range, realtor could have said, you better go in high, you better do this, you better do that, because we don't know if other offers are coming in, and in the end, no other offers came in. So did they overpay?
I don't know.
Hard to say,
I
but
know. Like I said, it's a cute house,
it is cute.
but I'm not sure about that.
Nope.
I'm not
And
sure.
then Kelly Street had no competing offers either, but look at
Exactly.
that.
And
Almost
Kelly-
100,000 less per square foot. Not quite, but
Right, exactly.
older.
And
About
here's-
the same square footage, sorry.
Exactly.
Mhm.
No, that's okay. But if they wanted that 300,000 number, again, it was non-competing offer. Why didn't they price it at 300,000?
I don't know.
Why didn't they price it at 300,000? But so if we look at that, 33% in that 200 price range had competing offers. But if I had a buyer and we're looking at this and they're going, well, we'd like to offer 304,000. First of all, I want to know where they came up with that number.
Do you have buyers usually that come in and say, we'd like to offer X? Or do you have buyers that come in and say, I have no idea what to offer, what do we do?
The buyers that I work with, I've never had one say, oh, I'd like to offer them this.
Right.
Until,
Maybe.
well, they do, but it's after I've shared what I feel the value of the property is.
Okay. That's how it should go,
Yeah.
because you're the expert.
Right. So coming in and saying, hey, this house, I'd pay $274,900 for this. Now, it was a conventional loan, 30 months, so it's going to be 30 days to do that. If they had cash, they might have been able to get a better deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll pay you cash. I'll close in 7 days or 5 days, as fast as the lender or the title company can close us, and I'll let you stay here till the end of the month for free. There's a deal. That's worth value. And so something's going on there. We just don't know all the facts on it.
No.
But even if you look at Laura Street,
I know.
919 Laura Street, there's another one.
First of all, what a great street to live on.
Do you know anybody who lives there?
I actually do. One of Carson's friends lives on Laura Street.
Do you?
Uh-huh. He's flippin' adorable. But it's a cute house. I was looking at the pictures because I noticed that right away. And I'm like, what's going on with Laura Street? Whoa. It's really cute.
Right.
But whoa. $283 a square foot, huh?
Yeah. And again, I mean, this is an older house.
Yep.
1961. It looks great. It's a beautiful home and all that. But again, what do you want to? You could get a new house. That's 1,200 finished square feet.
Yeah.
1,200 square feet. So I don't know. There
So
you have
moral
it.
of the story is what?
Do your homework and work with a professional that knows their numbers.
Yes.
And knows their numbers. Now, all these categories, I mean, in that Laura range, which is the 300,000 price range, the 300 price range, 85% of those transactions had a competing offer.
4 of them didn't. Is Rosenberg Lane new?
No. Yeah.
It has to
yeah,
be.
anything
Yeah.
with a zero has a
Yeah.
zero. Is a.
I saw the total assessed value and I knew it was.
Oh yeah. I
After
mean,
I
there's-
asked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So no competing offers because that could have been a builder direct, like,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's
Iridian,
exactly what happened.
usually there's not competing offers.
Sure. Now, if I look at the 400 price range, which there's some discounting going on there.
Wow, hardly any competing offers.
Exactly.
And discounting for the
Right.
first time.
29% of those had no competing offers.
Wow.
And look at how many of them were 5,000 below asking, 12,000 below asking, 10,000 below asking. I'm okay with that.
So,
Now, see, I like those transactions because the market's telling the seller, and of those, they weren't competing offers, and the market told them that the house was overpriced.
mhm.
And I would say, and I'm going to say this, I don't even know who the realtors were, that they had good representation there and said, hey, this is overpriced. But even when at 200 on Musket Ridge, they had a price drop of $10,000, the cost per square foot is $264 a square foot, which is more than a lot of the new construction are being done. You know what I mean?
Jelly bean. Yeah, I mean, unless you're buying a home that you're confident was maybe remodeled, upgraded, done well.
Sure.
Not DIY.
Yeah.
Done well. So it's got good bones, it's been updated with nice finishes, and it feels like new construction, but still, do you want to pay the same price per square foot that you could pay for new construction with a 1-year warranty and brand
Sure.
new home?
Well, look at it this way. If I go down and the Musket Ridge that we're talking about sold for $414,900. At 2110 Rosenberg Lane, that's a brand new house, brand new. It's 200 square feet more, and cost per square foot is $259. Now you're paying $449.9 for that house because they added square footage in that. But again, as Laura just said, that's a brand new home. There's not going to be any issues in that house.
Well, if
Maybe.
there are, you're under warranty for a
Correct.
year at least. Still get a home inspection, right?
Correct.
Jim Bellinger.
Correct. Exactly. Exactly.
What I'm surprised by is the next step up in price range that does have
Competing offers.
a bunch of competing offers. Yeah, so that's odd.
I know.
The competing offers usually goes down when the price range goes up, correct?
Yeah, but look at this. If you look at this, there's 1, 2, 3 of these had competing offers. No, I'm sorry. 2 of these had competing offers and the price went down. Twisted Branch,
Yeah.
competing offer, 7,500 under. Dolan, 17 Dolan, 4,000. Oh, that's not competing.
Corinth.
Sorry. Corinth, 7,500 below. Isn't that amazing?
And look at Crescendo.
I know, right?
That's 30 grand below.
30 grand below at 620, and the price per square footage, 201. How about Stevens Street, who sold at, now get this is an important one for me. So 2129 Stevens Street sold for $635,000. Square footage cost is $176 a square foot. It was built in 2001. It has 35,000 square feet.
So that's a bit of a bargain.
Yeah, it's a bargain.
Mm-hmm.
That price wasn't high enough to start with. It should have been at the 635 to 650, because if you take 3,000 square feet, just multiply it by 2, that would be 200, right? That's a $700,000 house. You can't build that house for $700,000. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And how you play with the numbers?
Lots of ways to play with the numbers.
Right. So that 635, that's a steal. That's probably, I would say, the best deal that happened in August. And it's a beautiful home. Oh my gosh, I'd like it. Terry would like it.
Oh wow, it's big. It does look beautiful.
It is. It's absolute. Well, Stevens Street's a great street.
It is.
You know.
Wow, they've got a nice big backyard. Oh, the patio.
I
I'm
know.
liking it.
I know. So,
okay, whoever bought that got a deal, man. Good for you.
So of all this, what I want you to know is this. Again. Have the expert there to help you. Have that expert there to help you.
You know what? I'll bet it's the kitchen.
Yeah, the kitchen's small, I thought.
Small and dated.
Yeah, it is.
The
But
finishes are not
Right.
high end at all for the price range.
Right.
That's probably it.
yeah. So people have been asking me, because I've had this chest thing going on for now almost 2.5 weeks, I guess. And I want to share with you what happened. And I'm not going to give you all I won't give you locations and stuff like that, but
Disclose any names.
right.
No.
This is what's happening in my chest is not a cold. I don't have COVID. How many times I got asked, did you test for COVID? Get over that. Would you
Well,
stop
it's
asking
going
me?
around though again.
Yeah, but I don't think
so.
it's right that you can just walk. Did you get tested?
Yeah, we talked about that.
I think that's just rude.
I know.
No,
It's
but
not
did
your
you
business.
get tested for STDs?
Tim real.
Come on, man.
Yes, I
Yeah.
know. I know. I get it.
You know.
When I ask, I'm teasing, by the way, for the record.
I know you
It's a
are.
joke.
I know. I feel the love with you. So, there are houses out there that you can classify as a sick house if you want to.
A sick
A
house.
sick house.
How?
A house that will make you sick. So I was at a listing at one of the properties I have listed, and it's on the MLS. It's there, and we're going to sell it. Got a couple offers on it right now. The house is should be about 1.2 million. The list price is 600,000.
Oh, this one, yeah.
We'll be close to that, but because of the amount of cat urine, feces,
Oh.
dog urine,
I knew about the urine, but really, feces?
dog feces.
Come on. Older person who can't keep up
Can't.
with.
All right, but yes,
Oh.
this didn't happen overnight. This did not
Well,
happen
no.
overnight, and it's all over the floors and everything else. And so I went in the first time. I was there for about an hour, and what I think happened is because I sat down in one of the chairs, it brought me down closer to the floor, and I inhaled the ammonia.
Oh,
From
I don't know how you did it. I couldn't.
Oh well, we had a showing this past Monday.
Oh,
Lady said, I don't need to wear a mask. I'm comfortable without it. Went in and was there maybe a minute, and she walked out as her husband was wearing a respirator, and he went down a hall. I followed her out to make sure she's okay, and she's heaving outside. It's that bad. It's that bad. But that happened to me. I don't have a cold. I have what appears to be a cold. They just have to watch and make sure it doesn't turn into
So is
pneumonia.
the seller willing and able to have someone come in, clean
Doesn't
it,
have the
rip up
cash.
carpet?
There's no money.
So is this one of those situations where, well, she obviously has to be able to repay it, but could she take out a home equity loan or something?
She has nothing to stand on. She doesn't have a job or anything like that. Or she could, I guess.
Oh no,
yeah.
what a horrible situation.
So we're gonna sell this house. Now this is a deal. It's a deal and a half because let me tell you how I priced this, so you just give you an idea, and then we're gonna talk about the market predictions. So I estimated the house value at 900, between 900 and 1.2, if it were in perfect condition, the condition it was in when I helped them buy it. And then I guesstimated, it is a guess, about $300,000 in repairs.
Oh,
So that put us down to $600,000. So because I know the roof, if it's a shaker roof, those are about $90,000 to replace. But I could do it for less on that. But they're going to take this house down to the studs. And what's sad is it has solid cherry wood floors.
oh no, that are ruined.
They're gone. They're gone. Yeah. They're gone. Yeah.
Are all the animals still there?
Yes.
So until the animals leave, the problem
It
will
don't matter.
persist.
Yeah. This is not a cleaning. This is a gutting. This is a gutting. So it's interesting, but it's a project, and it's going to take about 6 months to really bring it up to where it is. And it's a horse farm with an indoor riding arena, paddock area, tack room, and the paddock area and the tack room just need to be cleaned. The
So
riding
this
arena
is
is ready to
every
go.
horse lover's
Yeah,
dream.
7.5 acres.
7.5 acres.
I know.
So
With a
yeah.
2.5 acre pasture. The rest
If
is
you
all
could get
wooded.
some work done, you're sitting on a lot of
Right.
equity.
Right.
Hmm.
But these are so you don't always get the projects that just sell. They just sell. And
Mhm.
my heart is in this transaction, and I will make sure everything's handled the right way, as I normally do, maybe with a little bit of extra love.
This is the lady that called you, right, the other day? Because
Yeah, she did.
that's
yes.
a lot of trust that
Yeah.
she has in you.
Yeah, I know. So we're doing some other things for her too, but anyway. So the point of that is that's why you see me coughing and all that, and I apologize. I try to be respectful and turn my cough.
What are you doing to get that stuff out of you?
Just
And not breathing anymore?
It is breaking up, and I do wear a mask
Okay.
when I'm there, but yeah.
With some oils in it?
Uh-huh.
Like eucalyptus or something?
Yeah, could be. I put the eucalyptus in the mask.
Yes, exactly.
So
Right.
How's it
Right.
go?
I don't know, that's
Okay.
kind of creepy, don't do that.
No, that's
again.
not great. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
It's right.
Wow.
Hey, so can we talk about real quick? I want 5 minutes on assumable mortgages, and then we're gonna get to the other stuff.
Again, part 2?
Yeah, part 2. What we said was that there are 3 categories of adjustable rate mortgages. There are VA mortgage, there's an FHA, and there's USDA.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the 3 categories for an assumable mortgage. If you're a seller, yes, you may be able to provide an assumable mortgage to a buyer at the rate that you purchased the home. What happens is that the other amount, above that mortgage amount, the buyer's going to finance, or they're going to pay cash, or a combination. But what you have is something that's very attractive. If you have a 2.5% mortgage, that's really attractive. If it's a 2.5% mortgage on what amount? What's the highest they could have?
The highest they could have for an assumable mortgage? I don't know.
No, of those 3 categories, aren't there price limits on VA, FHA, and USDA?
Oh, well, it depends on the area.
Could it be 400,000?
Yeah.
Okay, say 400,000. You got 2.5% mortgage rate on 400,000. That ain't bad. And then you have the control over the other part of the difference between what the real value is and what your mortgage is. It's a strategy for you as a seller. So if you're a veteran, or you have a VA, FHA, or USDA, you want more information about this, reach out to Laura and I. Laura or I, she'll give you more information than I will, but I'll give you the strategy behind what I want you to do.
Yeah, I'm going to say lean on your realtor who hopefully knows how to help you navigate that, but really you as a seller would need to reach out to whoever your loan servicer is and say, hey,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about like an assumable mortgage. What does that look like for me?
Sure.
Does that release my obligation to this mortgage? Am I still tied to it?
Right.
What requirements are there for a buyer coming in?
Uh-huh.
Will you even allow it?
Sure.
So just because it's a VA, USDA, or
Doesn't mean
FHA
automatically.
doesn't mean it's automatic. No. So I would say it starts with the seller because they're the ones who have the contact
Right.
to the servicer, and the servicer has to approve the buyer.
Right.
So do your homework first before you say that a buyer could do that.
Right.
Could be a cluster if you don't.
Exactly. But so it's a strategy. There's an advantage if you have one of these that you could pass off. Your value of your home just went up a little bit more because you offer that. You have that. It's their choice if they want to take it or not.
Mm-hmm.
As a buyer, yeah, it's an advantage, and then all you got to do is negotiate. That's all. Negotiate. There's going to be people. This would be a competitive situation. People are going to love this. You'll see that there's not one agent, not one offering out there of assumable mortgages, and I can confirm.
I
that.
did have one come up recently. Well, it was just it was a buyer actually that asked me about it. But I don't know if it was actually listed that way in the comments. Is that what you're talking about?
No, there's a feature
That says that it's assumable in
Yeah.
the listing information.
in the yeah.
I'll bet very few agents even understand it. I
Right.
could be wrong about that. Everybody's looking for strategies right now. What do I do? How do I get my property sold for top dollar? And buyers are looking for ways to make properties more affordable. So lots of strategies out there. This is one of them, but again, I just want to caution because it's not necessarily a simple process. You just need to find out more, but the onus is on the seller in my opinion, before they even say anything. Otherwise, there's other strategies. First-time home buyers can get lower rates, below market rates because you're a first-time home buyer. There's some buy down strategies, so you could buy your rate down in the first year or two of your loan just to kind of adjust to it. But yeah, you need to know that the rate is eventually going to go back to whatever the current market rate is right now. But also, I think you said earlier, buy the house, date the rate. We keep saying that. You could refinance anytime. Does it cost you money to do that? Yes. But the lender could probably help you navigate the costs, how to keep them as low as possible, and certainly run numbers for you so that you know if it even makes sense to refinance based on the closing costs they pay. Like, what is your cost savings and how long will it take you to recoup the cost? These are things lenders need to be doing for you and advising, not just taking orders.
That was very nicely said. That should be like a public service announcement.
Okay, I could do a commercial.
Hey, I wanna. This is gonna blow your mind. Is that there is a seller financing deal right now?
Really?
Yep. It's over in Grant County, Jamestown. It's in Keeler. It's absolutely adorable. 2,400 square feet, 4-bed, 2-bath, $245,000. Now, where is this? That's what you're gonna ask me. It's over by Dickeyville.
And I know where that is. Why?
Yeah, it's right
Where's
down on Highway
Dickeyville?
61.
Do they all wear Dickies in Dickeyville?
Always.
Do they watch Christmas Vacation
They do.
nonstop?
You're getting close to Dubuque
Oh.
and Rutledge.
That's actually pretty over there.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
What's the address?
It is 3676 County Road, HHH.
HHH?
HHH. Been on the market 15 days.
Okay, so what are the terms of the seller financing?
It doesn't have that. Seller financing. Well, you just have to look at it, that's all.
Okay.
You have to find out. You got to negotiate.
Well, of course.
But they have that on there. And I'm meeting with a guy later that is actually considering doing that also.
Offering seller financing as a seller?
Yep. Yep.
Seller financing, lease to own, different situation?
Yep. He's thinking about it because he knows he can make a little money on it.
Well, but different or same? Is it a lease to own?
No, it's not a lease to own.
Okay, so what would you say the difference is?
A lease to own is not worth it. You want to do, if you're going to do any kind of seller financing, you want to do a land contract. Because a lease to own is where you take a percentage of your lease and it's applied towards your purchase. You don't want that. You want a land contract where it's all put in there.
Is there any of that being done anyway? The Homebuyers Roundtable is actually tossing around ideas
Land
because we're
contracts?
always, somebody brought up lease to own and we're like, well, is that being done? Is that even something that we should spend our time talking and educating on?
Wow.
If it's not something that's happening really.
I just don't think it's good for the consumer.
Because why? Because only a percentage of what
Only a
they're paying
percentage of
goes
it.
toward?
Right.
Whereas with a land contract,
Sure.
all of it would
Yeah.
go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Interesting.
yeah, it's there's one in Arkdale that's 442,000 seller financing. It's on a half acre. So anyway,
More of this coming up, huh?
I know, right? Oh, there's one in Janesville,
Creativity.
109,000. If you live down in Janesville, don't know why, but
Well, Janesville's growing, and you can buy
It
more
is.
house for your money down there.
there's a brand new
Kind of still.
construction in Arkdale. Mike Cook has it for sale for 600,000.
Where is Arkdale?
Arkdale's up by Germantown, Northern Bay, and all
I
that.
think I need to get out more. Yeah, I don't know where
You
these
do.
places are.
You do. So let's talk about this real quick. So the market predictions for I got a lot of information to cover here in a very short period of time.
Uh-oh.
So right now we've just hit Labor Day. Labor Day, you can't wear white anymore, and also the market starts to trend down a little
Wear
bit.
white if you want.
I wear
Be
white.
you.
anytime.
You be you.
I know. All
Yeah.
white parties are done now.
Okay.
So what happens is you'll see as you drop off the kids for school, prices start to drop. Don't know if that's going to really happen this year. I think what's going to happen is you'll see the number of sales drop, and it's a trend. It's that trend. It's normal. It's going to be normal on this, but it may mean that with the number of listings possibly dropping, you'll see pricing going back up again. So we'll see a strong pricing there. Mortgages are what we need to talk about. Because right now, rates have been trending up since 2022, right? You're shaking your head. I love she's just looking at me like, what the hell are you doing? They hit 20-year high last week. Where? 7.8?
Well, depending on the situation, you could be very close to 8. If
Wow.
your credit score, I'm going to keep drilling that in.
Good
Work
credit score.
on your credit score. Whatever you can do to get yourself a lower rate, and credit is a key factor.
Yeah.
So,
But 7.5, that's up. Experts aren't expecting rates to climb anymore. A lot of them are saying that rates are going to drop because they think the Fed will stop increasing the benchmark.
yeah, we've been thinking that all year.
No,
and they're
I-
ignoring the data.
You and I have been calling it. We knew we're batting 1,000, girl. We're batting 1,000.
I'm frustrated with the Fed. I'm Fed frustrated.
But here, I want to show you
Fed
this
up
though.
with the Fed. Can I say that? I'm
You-
fed up with the
You're
Fed.
fed up with
Yeah.
you're fed up with
Yeah.
the Fed. Fed up with the whole federal government right now.
Yeah, okay.
So I want to show you 4 comparisons here. So Budge, that's his name, Budge, Husky, who is
Is
the
that a real name?
Yep, he's the CEO and president of Premier Sotheby's International Realty. Stated that rates will remain in the 6% through 2023. Well, wake up, dude.
Budge needs to budge.
I know.
He's a bit wrong.
Yeah, I know. Realtor.com expects rates to drop to 6% by a year end. Fannie Mae predicts an average of 6.7% rate by year end, and mortgage bankers say 6.2%.
And Lawrence Yoon said, what, in March? The
Okay.
rates would be like 5.5.
Right. It ain't happening.
Didn't happen.
I have a $20 bet on that
$20, that's all?
with Aaron Longland. Well, that's all he would take.
Okay.
So what you're seeing that people don't know where the rates are going to be. They just don't. And,
No.
and just because the Fed increases rates, that's not a direct relationship to mortgage rates. Mortgage rates are bonds.
Yeah.
Okay? It's not.
If you want to know about mortgage-backed bonds, watch The Big Short.
The Big Short. Go
Yeah.
to Netflix, watch The Big Short.
Seriously, I mean, it's kind of cute the way that they try to explain to the average bear what these terms mean.
Yeah.
Because it's very technical behind the scenes.
I have to watch it again.
Yeah. I mean, it's just funny. Margot Robbie, Barbie is in there
I love
explaining,
Margot
I think, the secondary market perhaps. But anyway, such a good movie.
She's a great actress.
She is.
And hot.
Well, she's sitting in a hot tub drinking champagne, speaking in her British accent about, I think, the secondary market.
No,
Yeah.
this is true.
Yeah.
So let's talk about supply and demand. We know supply continues to be low. It's going to stay that way. Real estate brokerage Redfin, which is in our area but not really in our area, they don't really have a factor here, says that that June, what was it? How did I write this? Says that was an all-time low in June, dropping 15% compared to 2022. Well, they're feeling that nationally. Guess what? Our sales were down 32%. I mean, listings were down 32%. Sales were up 2.38%, and price was up 15%. So that shows you that real estate is hyper local. Hyper local. Buy local.
Yes.
Use local.
Always.
So if you used national data, then you're all skewed. I mean, you're all, you're all messed up.
No wonder people don't know what to believe. Truly,
Well,
depending on the source,
exactly.
you could hear something wildly different from
sure.
another one. And it's like, well, what do I believe? I'm on a MBS group on
What's an NBS
Facebook,
group?
mortgage-backed securities, but I mean, that's what it stands for, but there's a group that Barry Habib is the guy that I listen to. Anyway, so because rates have been rising, again, there's a lot of people talking about it and predictions for what rates are going to do, and it's just funny because it's all over the place. It's going to be 5.5 by blah blah blah. Nope, it's going to rise further. It's going to be 8.5 by blah blah blah. It's like nobody really knows. So I think moral of the story is don't stop your home search.
Right.
Waiting for rates to come down.
Sure.
Because what do you think has happened to the people who have done that this year?
Yeah.
They missed out.
They did.
And now they're going to pay more for a house.
Exactly.
Don't do that. Just make sure that it's comfortable for you. Your payment is huge.
Exactly.
It really is.
Well, look at this. Realtor.com said sales dropped 2% in July. Guess what, Sun Prairie? Sales dropped 23.8%, but price increased 10.4%.
Yeah.
So see, nationally they're saying 2%. Here, 23.8%. New buyers are turning out towards new construction. New construction is still stable. They still have a lot of work that they're doing, and you're looking at about a 6-month process, if longer. Realtor.com is expecting sales to continue to decline throughout the year by 16% compared to 2022. Year-to-date sales are down 28% for Sun Prairie. Prices up 6.76.
Sitting on a lot of money, people.
I know. So hear the difference? Hear the difference?
And really, you might want to think about what's going on. I've mentioned this before, but with everything else rising, so are your interest rates on your credit cards. So are your home equity line rates.
Yeah.
You might want to think about that and tapping into your equity. But you got to be strategic about how you do that.
Right. And where will home prices go? What's going to happen next? Well, I'm telling you, they're going to stay up. They're going to go up because there's no inventory and there's a high demand. 7% is still 7%. It's a good rate. As I've said before, I started at 14%. I'd love to have had a 7% back then. There's not going to be a crash. There's just no way. The only way it could happen is if everybody in town put their house on the market.
And why would that happen ever?
It never ever.
Well, we shouldn't say never. I mean, who knows?
But let me tell you this: if that interest rate drops to 6%, there's going to be even higher prices. If it goes to 5.5%, OMG.
Because then the people who have wanted to sell but didn't sell because they were afraid of overpaying on their next house or having to pay a rate and a mortgage higher than what they want, are going to go up. Maybe now's the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
lots more competition.
Lots more competition. So what's all this mean, really? Well, it means that
it's all clear as mud.
Yeah, it's all. Well, even though they were slowing down in the housing market as we go into fall, and we slow down, it will slow down a little bit. It's going to be a little hiccups there. There's not going to be a market crash or anything like that. You're not going to see a drastic reduction in prices and all that. And what you should focus on as a buyer is getting the house and riding the wave and gaining that equity. That's the cool part. Don't forget, you don't have to put $1 gazillion down to buy a home. And Laura's the one that you should talk to about that. She'll show you all the different platforms. But it's still a good time to buy a house. It's a great time to sell a house. Maybe sell and rent for a while. Come out to Heyday and rent a house for 6 months or a year. And then find exactly what you want. Have cash in hand, giving you the leverage, and say, I'll buy that house. I'll do it in 7 days. Now get the hell out. No. And then give them an option of how much time to stay behind. But you have the opportunity, Sun Prairie. And I hope Laura and I have given you the information to make those wise decisions.
To at least get you curious.
Yeah.
Ask questions.
Ask questions. Stay in curiosity and seek to understand. And we hope to see you out and about. Thanks for everybody that comes up and gives us ideas and thoughts. And thank you for the kudos also. I know several of you out there enjoy the program, and we're really proud to be able to do this for you. So until next time, Sun Prairie, I'll see you on Friday night at the first home Cardinal football game against Beaver Dam with my buddy Mike Powers, starting at 6:45.
Go Cards.
Till then, we'll catch you right back here on the radio. Bye, Sun Prairie.
Bye, Sun Prairie. Only need hand signals.
I know, right?
Look at that. Pretty cool. East finally